I've been a cop here in Winnipeg a long time, so I've had the perspective to see trends rise and fall, and right now we're seeing the trend rise.
Winnipeg saw a significant spike in crime in 2022. Winnipeg police releasing new data that shows violent crime rates in the city are hitting the highest level in more than a decade.
This is not new territory for Winnipeg, but of course it's concerning.
Violent crime in Winnipeg is up 19% over last year and up 23% over the 5-year average, with 13,449 violent crimes reported and the year setting a new record for homicides at 53. However, Chief Danny Smyth with Winnipeg Police says for those asking whether or not the city is still safe, he remains steadfast in his answer: it is.
I would say yes, our city is safe. I think one thing you have to always keep in mind when we do these statistical reports, it's a compilation of aggregate data. And that's not the way crime works. You know, crime can be very disparate depending on where you live. Aggregate data can give a false impression sometimes and paint the city as a complete, war zone when it's not.
Detailing an overall increase in crime of 25.6%, the report also highlighted how 1 in 5 people charged in cleared violent offenses were out on bail, with Chief Smyth, who is also the chief of the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, stressing that this is why bail reform is needed to tighten that trend. Smyth notes there is a concentration of violent crimes and property crime in the Central and West districts, seeing a combined 56.9% of all crime. He says efforts are being made to ensure officers are dispatched where needed.
We know that a small number of offenders probably commit, a good chunk of the crimes. We think if we can target those particular offenders, we can make a difference.
Police recorded a significant increase in violent crimes involving both knives and bear spray, with the use of knives jumping by 12% and instances of bear spray attacks jumping from 857 in 2021 to 1,181 last year. Property crime also on the rise. Break-in enters up 23.5%, motor vehicle thefts up 27.2%, and shoplifting instances up 37.4%. But WPS notes that these stats appear to be returning to numbers observed pre-pandemic. Chief Smyth stressed that while it certainly appears that WPS are looking at concerning crime rates, he says it's not the first time police have faced down a challenge.
We've seen bigger hills, put it that way. I started my career in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. Our crime rates and our volumes were much higher than they are now. That being said, we are trending up again, so that's something to watch and something to try to adjust strategically for.
Residents will have a better understanding as to how Winnipeg stacks up against other municipalities when Statistics Canada releases its Crime Severity Index in July, containing crime stats from coast to coast. In Winnipeg, Morgan Majeski, City News.